Welcome, dear listeners, to a tale of cosmic scale and human valor. Today we journey to the farthest reaches of our universe, where the fabric of our common reality intertwines with the threads of the extraordinary. The title of our story, They Thought No One Would Come, Until Earth's Dreadnoughts Darkened the Skies, might sound like a line from an epic poem of old, but it's the reality that shook the very foundations of the galactic order. In the vast expanse of space, among the countless stars and planets, Earth was often seen as an unremarkable speck. To the older, more advanced civilizations of our galaxy, Earth's blue hues and green patches were pretty yet insignificant. For aeons, our planet was regarded as a quiet, almost backward corner of the cosmos, frequented by tourists more for its natural beauty than for its technological prowess or military might. This perception was not without its consequences. When the Great Galactic Council gathered, Earth's representatives often found themselves sidelined, their voices drowned out by those deemed more influential. It was an accepted truth that while Earth could offer cultural riches, in the theaters of power and war it held little sway. Little did they know this underestimation would soon cost them dearly. But our story does not start with power or dominance. No, it begins with a cry for help. A signal sent out by the Disari, a peaceful species whose home was under siege by a ruthless, marauding force known only as the Scourge. This wasn't just a raid or a territorial dispute. It was an existential threat, with the Scourge leaving desolation in their wake, aiming to erase the Disari from existence. As the signal echoed through the cosmos, it was met mostly with silence. The great powers, wrapped up in their politics, and wary of confrontation, turned a deaf ear. It seemed the Scourge would face no resistance, that is, until Earth heard the call. Why did Earth respond when no one else would? Perhaps it was our inherent defiance, a trait as old as humanity itself. Or maybe it was the empathy born from our own tumultuous history, a shared understanding of what it means to face annihilation alone and unaided. Regardless of why, the fact remains that Earth did respond, and it did so in a manner that would forever change how all in the galaxy viewed our small, seemingly inconsequential world. As we delve deeper into our story, keep in mind the resilience and the undying spirit of humanity. These are not just qualities of Earth's heroes, but of each and every one of us. Let us then journey together into the dark skies where Earth's dreadnoughts, like titans of old myths, raced to a battle that was not their own, guided by nothing but the light of justice and the shadows of their massive, formidable hulls. Stay tuned as we witness the unfolding of events that proved when humanity stands together, even the stars must take notice. As Earth's decision to intervene traveled faster than light across the network of allied communications, the mood amongst the galactic communities was one of disbelief and speculation. The elder species, those with vast armadas and entrenched interests, watched with a blend of skepticism and curiosity. Earth, a planet known for its serene landscapes and diplomatic humility, was now stepping into a conflict that many had chosen to ignore. This was unprecedented, and it signaled a possible shift in the cosmic balances of power and responsibility. Meanwhile, aboard the flagship of Earth's dreadnought fleet, the USS Vanguard, the atmosphere was electric. Commanded by Admiral Sarah Kingston, a veteran of both diplomacy and war, the Vanguard and its sister ships were preparing for a mission that was as much a rescue operation as it was a statement to the universe. Admiral Kingston, known among her crew for her unshakable calm and strategic acumen, addressed her officers with a stern yet hopeful tone. "This isn't just about the Disari," she said. "It's about proving that humanity has a role to play in this galaxy, that we stand for our principles, not just our survival." The preparations were meticulous. Earth's fleet, though not the largest, was equipped with some of the latest technologies. Stealth fields, quantum disruptors, and hyperkinetic missiles were just a part of their arsenal. The crew trained relentlessly, running through simulations that covered every possible scenario they might face against the Scourge. Each simulation was not only a test of their equipment, but of their resolve, their ability to remain cohesive under the kind of pressure only the cold, unforgiving vacuum of space could exert. Back on Earth, news of the impending battle stirred, a global sentiment of unity and apprehension. Families of those aboard the Vanguard and its fleet gathered, sending messages of love and support, while communities held vigils, hoping for the safe return of their newfound heroes. The world watched as it often did in times of great consequence, through screens and broadcasts, each report amplifying the gravity of what was to come. In contrast, across the galaxy, the Disari, with their slender figures and luminous eyes, felt a spark of hope rekindle in their hearts. They were a species known for their cultural wealth, their art and philosophy enriching the galactic tapestry, yet now they were refugees on their own planet, hiding in the ruins of their once great cities. The arrival of Earth's fleet was more than a military reinforcement. It was a beacon of hope, a promise that they were not forgotten, that their cries for help had been heard, and then the moment of first contact arrived. The Vanguard and its fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Disari system, their arrival marked by the silent flicker of starlight against their hulls. The Scourge, a collective of warships that looked like dark scars against the cosmos, paused their assault. For a brief moment, the galaxy held its breath. The battle lines were drawn not just in space, but in the hearts and minds of all who watched. Would Earth's boldness inspire courage or usher in catastrophe? This was the question whispered in the dark corners of the universe, as the first shots of a historic battle were poised to be fired. As Earth's dreadnought fleet took their positions around the beleaguered planet of the Disari, the air crackled with both anticipation and fear. From the bridge of the USS Vanguard, Admiral Kingston surveyed the scene with a practiced eye. Enemy known as the Scourge had encircled the planet, their ships dark and ominous like vultures circling their prey. Their reputation for ruthlessness was well documented. Entire planets laid waste, civilizations reduced to ash in their quest for dominance. The strategy for the initial contact was clear and carefully planned. Earth's fleet would not engage in a direct assault. Such tactics were too risky against a foe of unknown capabilities. Instead, they would employ a combination of diversionary tactics and precision strikes, aimed at disrupting the Scourge's formations and testing their defenses. The goal was to create an opening for the Disari resistance forces to evacuate the most vulnerable of their population. Engage stealth fields, deploy sensor drones, and prepare to initiate alpha maneuver on my mark, Admiral Kingston commanded, her voice resolute. The crew responded in unison, a well-oiled machine of military discipline and technological prowess. The Dreadnoughts, massive ships armored with the latest in adaptive nanocomposites, slipped into the shadow of moons and debris, nearly invisible against the backdrop of space. The first move was subtle. Sensor drones, small and agile, darted forward, relaying back vital data on the Scourge's ship formations and armament types. This information was crucial, allowing the Vanguard's weapons teams to calibrate their long-range disruptors precisely. Within minutes, the serene void of space was shattered by the silent scream of particle beams, slicing through the vacuum towards the Scourge's outer vessels. The impact was immediate and effective. Several of the Scourge's ships faltered, their shielding fluctuating under the unexpected assault. Cheers erupted from the Vanguard's crew, but Admiral Kingston remained focused. "Steady," she cautioned. "This is just the beginning. Prepare for their counter-move." True to her prediction, the Scourge rallied quickly. With a brutal elegance, their warships realigned, unleashing a barrage of plasma fire that lit up the space between the warring fleets. The Vanguard shuddered under the impact, shields holding but strained. The battle had truly begun, a deadly dance of move and counter-move. On the ground, the Disari took heart from the battle unfolding above. Their own forces, ragtag but resolute, began covert operations to sabotage the Scourge's ground installations. Each strike coordinated with the rhythm of the space battle, each success a step closer to salvation. As the skirmish escalated, the tactical acumen of Earth's fleet was put to the test. Admiral Kingston and her officers orchestrated a symphony of warfare, leveraging every piece of data, every moment of enemy weakness to their advantage. The fleet's advanced AI systems processed countless variables, adapting in real time to the chaotic flow of battle. Amidst the chaos, a moment of truth. approached. A gap in the Scourge's defense opened just as predicted by the simulations. Now execute beta maneuver. Target their command ship, Kingston ordered. This was the moment to shift the tide, a calculated risk that could lead to a decisive victory or a catastrophic defeat. The next minutes would tell if Earth's intervention would be a footnote in the annals of the galaxy or the dawn of a new chapter in the story of humanity. As missiles and laser beams crisscrossed the starlit battlefield, the fate of the Dazari and the reputation of Earth hung in the balance, each waiting to see which way the scales of war would tip. With Admiral Kingston's command, Earth's dreadnoughts initiated beta maneuver, a bold strategy designed to exploit the momentarily exposed command ship of the Scourge. As the heavy missile batteries of the USS Vanguard and its sister ships locked onto their target, the gravity of the moment was palpable. This was more than a strike. It was a declaration that Earth would no longer stand by in the cosmic sidelines. The missiles launched, trailing flames as they cut through the void, each one aimed with precision that only the most advanced targeting systems could achieve. The Scourge, caught off guard by the ferocity and coordination of Earth's fleet, scrambled to redirect their defenses, but not before the first missiles made contact. The explosion was a bloom of light in the darkness, a sign that the battle was turning. On the bridge of the Vanguard, the crew watched the impact with bated breath. Admiral Kingston, her eyes fixed on the holographic displays, allowed herself a brief nod of satisfaction. Direct hit on the enemy command. Damage assessments? She queried, her voice calm but carrying the weight of their collective hope. Significant. Damage to the enemy's flagship, Admiral. Their fleet coordination is faltering, reported the tactical officer, excitement barely contained. Around him, the crew's spirits lifted, but their celebration was cut short as the Scourge launched a desperate counterattack. Massive energy cannons from the Scourge's remaining ships fired blindly into space, hoping to catch the Earth fleet, unprepared. However, Earth's ships, nimble and shielded by next-gen reactive armor, managed to evade the most devastating blows. This was the advantage of human innovation, flexibility, and resilience under pressure. Maintain formation. Focus on disabling their heavy hitters. All ships engage at will, Kingston ordered. Her directive was clear. Dismantle the Scourge's ability to fight as a coordinated whole. As the Earth fleet maneuvered through the chaos, their weapon systems targeted the engines and weapons arrays of the largest enemy vessels, systematically reducing their threat. Meanwhile, on the surface of the Dazari planet inspired by the battle above, the resistance intensified their efforts. Using guerrilla tactics learned from Earth's military advisors, they struck at the Scourge's ground forces, further sowing confusion and hindering their ability to support their space-based fleet. The battle raged on, with each side adjusting to the other's moves in a high-stakes chess match played across the starry board of the galaxy. Earth's ships, though smaller and fewer, used their agility and advanced technology to keep the Scourge at bay, while their AI-assisted strategies continuously analyzed and exploited new weaknesses in the enemy's tactics. As the hours turned into a relentless grind, the toll of the battle became evident. Ships on both sides bore scars. Some floated lifeless in space, testament to the ferocity of the conflict. Yet, Earth's dreadnoughts, under Admiral Kingston's steadfast leadership, continued to press their advantage. Finally, a significant breakthrough occurred when a squadron of Earth's fighters, taking a high-risk gambit, broke through the Scourge's flanks and launched a series of strikes directly at their auxiliary power units. With a series of controlled, precise hits, the squadron succeeded, leaving several of the Scourge's ships powerless and adrift. As the tide of battle turned decisively in their favor, the crew of the Vanguard and the entire Earth fleet felt a surge of hope. The realization dawned that they were not only defending the Dazari, but also proving to the galaxy that humanity was a force to be reckoned with, a force capable of tipping the scales of interstellar power and justice. With the enemy now weakened and disarrayed, Admiral Kingston prepared her final orders, aiming to end the battle in a way that would secure peace and safety for the Dazari and respect for Earth across the stars. With the momentum firmly in their favor, Earth's dreadnought fleet capitalized on the breakthrough achieved by the daring fighter squadron. The Scourge's ships, now crippled and disoriented by the loss of their auxiliary power, struggled to maintain their offensive posture. This shift marked a critical juncture in the battle, as the tide turned toward an inevitable conclusion. Admiral Kingston, ever the tactician, sensed the opportunity to escalate their advantage into a definitive victory. All units, initiate Gamma. Maneuver. Let's bring our people home safe and give the Dasari their planet back, she commanded with resolve. Her voice, steady and confident, reverberated through the comms of every ship, bolstering the morale of the fleet. Gamma Maneuver was a complex series of coordinated attacks and feints designed to break the enemy's will to fight. The dreadnoughts, along with smaller, more agile support vessels, began a synchronized assault on the remaining operational ships of the Scourge. Utilizing their superior maneuverability and advanced weaponry, Earth's fleet made precise, strategic strikes that targeted the weakened spots in the enemy's armor. Meanwhile, on the Dasari homeworld, the local resistance forces, energized by the display of power and commitment from their Earth allies, mounted a renewed offensive against the Scourge's ground troops. With improved coordination provided by Earth's satellite systems, these fighters launched attacks that reclaimed key positions, further demoralizing the invading force. As Earth's spaceborne and ground strategies converged, the galactic community watched in awe. News of the battle's progress spread through networks and feeds, reaching distant corners of the galaxy. The image of Earth's dreadnoughts, once perceived as underdogs, now emerged as beacons of hope and strength. The narrative was changing. Earth was no longer a silent spectator, but a formidable guardian in galactic affairs. The commanders of the Scourge, realizing the futility of their position, began to retreat, their formations breaking as they attempted to withdraw from the Dasari system. Admiral Kingston, observing the disarray, gave the order to pursue cautiously. Keep pressure on them, but do not overextend. Our priority is the safety of the Dasari and our crews, she instructed, her experience preventing any rash pursuit that could lead to unnecessary risks. As the last of the Scourge's ships warped out of the system, the feeling of victory was palpable, but it was tempered by the cost. The dreadnoughts had suffered damage and casualties, a solemn reminder of the price of conflict. Yet the success achieved brought a sense of pride and accomplishment that resonated deeply within every member of the fleet. In the aftermath of the battle, the Dasari leadership, once rulers of a besieged world, now stood on the brink of reclaiming their sovereignty, thanks in no small part to Earth's intervention. The scenes of Dasari civilians, young and old, emerging from hiding to view the skies free of oppressors, were broadcast across Earth and beyond, symbolizing not just a military victory, but a triumph of spirit and cooperation. Earth's role in turning the tide of this conflict had profound implications. It altered the perception of humanity's place in the galactic hierarchy, showcasing an undeniable capability for leadership and compassion. The unity and resolve Earth displayed promised a new chapter in interstellar diplomacy, where Earth was not merely a participant, but a leader in fostering peace and justice across the stars. With the immediate threat subdued, the focus shifted to healing and rebuilding, both for the Dasari and for Earth's forces. But the echoes of this battle would resonate far beyond the debris fields of space, shaping the future of all involved in ways that were yet to be fully understood. As the dust settled on the battlefield, the USS Vanguard and the rest of Earth's dreadnought fleet began the somber task of recovery and repair. Space, silent and vast, bore witness to the aftermath of the conflict. A mixture of relief and mourning pervaded among the crews. Admiral Kingston, overseeing the operations, ensured that the fallen were honored with due reverence, their sacrifices acknowledged in the annals of Earth's military history. On the Dasari homeworld, the sense of liberation was palpable. Cities that had been under siege now experienced the first true peace in months. The Dasari people, their spirits uplifted by the successful defense of their planet, started the long process of reconstruction. Buildings once marred by the scars of war gradually began to show signs of repair, and markets slowly buzzed back to life, filled with the chatter and commerce of a free people. Earth's intervention had not only saved the Disari from annihilation, but had also forged a deep bond between the two civilizations. Earth's diplomats and humanitarian teams worked closely with Disari leaders to establish a framework for sustained aid and security. The gratitude of the Disari was expressed through a formal alliance, an unprecedented offer that was warmly received back on Earth. Reflections on the battle revealed much about the nature of humanity's role in the galaxy. Admiral Kingston, in her reports to Earth's High Command, emphasized the strategic and ethical implications of their involvement. We have shown that humanity is not just capable of defending its friends, but also of leading with compassion and strategic foresight, she wrote. This sentiment resonated with populations across Earth, who had followed the battle through broadcasts and updates. The pride in their space fleet's achievements was a new feeling for many, akin to the early days of space exploration. In the broader, galactic community, Earth's decisive action prompted a re-evaluation of its strategic and diplomatic weight. Former skeptics in the Galactic Council, who had doubted Earth's resolve and capability, now viewed it as an essential player in maintaining galactic stability. Offers for trade agreements, defense pacts, and cultural exchanges flowed in, signaling a newfound respect and desire for partnership. Yet, not all was celebratory. The commanders of Earth's fleet were acutely aware of the risks they had taken and the potential for future conflicts. Workshops and debriefs were held to glean lessons from the engagement, focusing on improving tactical responses, ship resilience, and crew preparedness for future conflicts. As Earth and the Disari moved forward, the legacy of this battle began to crystallize. It was not just a military victory, but a testament to humanity's capacity to effect positive change beyond its borders. For the older citizens of Earth, who had witnessed their planet's transformation from a silent observer to a galactic advocate, this was a profound shift. It evoked a renewed sense of responsibility and a keen awareness of the interconnectedness of all life, human or otherwise, across the cosmos. This chapter in human history, while marked by conflict, ultimately highlighted the enduring human qualities of resilience, empathy, and courage. It underscored a universal truth that even in the darkest skies, the light of human spirit could not only endure but illuminate the path for others. As Admiral Kingston remarked in her closing address to her crew, "We fought not for glory, but for the hope that our actions today might lead to a better tomorrow for all." This message, reflective and hopeful, was echoed across Earth and beyond, as humanity looked to the stars not as a frontier of conquest, but as a canvas for cooperation and peace. We conclude our story, "They thought no one would come until Earth's dreadnoughts darkened the skies." We reflect on the profound impact of Earth's intervention in a conflict far from its own borders. This narrative, a tapestry woven with threads of valor, strategy, and an unwavering commitment to justice, illustrates a pivotal moment in humanity's journey within the galactic community. Earth's bold decision to assist the Disari, a people on the brink of extinction, was not just a military maneuver. It was a statement of humanity's principles. It showcased that Earth was not only capable of defending its allies, but also willing to take a stand for what is universally right, thereby earning a place of respect among the stars. This story is not merely about the clash of titanic ships or the silent ballet of space warfare. It is about the human spirit, resilient, compassionate, and bold. From Admiral Kingston's unwavering leadership to the bravery of each crew member aboard the fleet, the saga of Earth's dreadnoughts resonates as a beacon of hope. It reminds us that courage and solidarity can indeed alter the course of history, turning tides in favor of peace and stability. As the Disari rebuild their world, their gratitude towards Earth forms the foundation of a lasting alliance, a testament to the bonds formed in the crucible of conflict. Let us also recognize the shift within the galactic perception of Earth. Once seen as a quiet, isolated member of the galaxy, Earth is now regarded as a leader, a protector, and a valuable ally. This newfound stature brings with it both opportunities and responsibilities, urging humanity to navigate the complex interstellar dynamics with wisdom and integrity. As we move forward, the lessons learned from this battle will undoubtedly influence Earth's approach to future challenges. In the corridors of power in schools and in homes, the story of the Dreadnoughts will be told and retold, inspiring current and future generations to look up at the stars not with fear, but with determination and hope. In closing, let this story serve as a reminder of our potential to influence and inspire. Whether you're a leader, a guardian, or a citizen of this vast universe, your actions have the power to echo across the cosmos. Let us carry forward the spirit of this victory, embracing our role as stewards of peace and champions of the oppressed. Together, as one humanity, we can ensure that the light of our collective spirit never dims, guiding us towards a future where the skies, no matter how darkened by the shadows of conflict, are illuminated by our shared resolve and mutual respect. Thank you for joining me in this journey through the stars. Remember, every one of us has a part to play in the unfolding story of humanity. Let's make it one of courage, unity, and enduring hope. As we conclude the inspiring tale of Earth's bold intervention and the hard-fought victory that darkened the skies, yet brightened the future for the Disarian humanity, let us not merely be passive observers of this saga. Instead, I invite each of you, our esteemed viewers, to carry forward the lessons and the spirit of this story into your own lives and communities. Firstly, consider the power of action. Just as Earth chose not to remain silent in the face of injustice, let us also find the courage to speak up and act against the wrongs we witness in our world. Whether it's supporting a local cause, participating in community service, or simply lending a hand to someone in need, your actions can make a world of difference. Secondly, embrace the value of unity. In our story, the alliance between Earth and the Disari grew stronger through their shared challenges. Similarly, we can strengthen our bonds with those around us by collaborating and supporting each other, encourage dialogue, foster understanding, and celebrate diversity in your community, as these are the pillars upon which a peaceful and prosperous society is built. Moreover, reflect on the role of leadership, as exemplified by Admiral Kingston. Leadership is not confined to those in high positions, but is a potential present in each of us. Whether you are a parent, a teacher, a friend, or a community leader, you have the capability to influence and inspire those around you. Lead with integrity and compassion, and you will light the way for others to follow. I also urge you to engage with this story beyond our conversation today. Discuss it with friends, share it with family, and use it as a catalyst for dialogue on global issues, space exploration, and the future role of humanity in the wider universe. Each discussion, each shared story adds a thread to the rich tapestry of our collective human experience. Finally, I invite you to continue this journey with us. If you found this story enlightening, if it stirred something within you, please consider subscribing to our channel, liking this video, and sharing it with others. Your engagement helps us to bring more such stories to light, stories that challenge, inspire, and motivate. Together, let's ensure that the legacy of humanity's courage and compassion, as demonstrated by the brave souls aboard Earth's dreadnoughts, is carried forward into every corner of our lives and beyond. Stand with us as we continue to explore the vast, wonderful universe of human potential and achievement. Thank you for watching, and remember, every star in the sky is a reminder of our shared light and our boundless capacity to make a difference. Let's make it shine brighter together.